About what I wish I knew about clothes donations. Years ago, as a big family mom with, 303, 505, 707, as our family began to really grow, we started to receive a lot of donated clothes. And at first, I was like, hey, thanks. It's so thoughtful. As other families in my life have less kids, they're starting to maybe downsize because they're done and we're not. And so people are like, hey, they have a generous heart. They're giving me a bunch of stuff. However, it started to add up. We have 7 sons now and 3 daughters. And in the early years, like I said, when we were probably at about 5, and people started to know in my circles, like we were that family. Never planning on being that family, but that's another story for another day. People found out, they got a bunch of kids. They have a generous heart. They give me all this stuff. However, we only lived in a 900 square foot standard 3-bedroom townhouse at the time. Like, no garage, unfinished basement, like a standard, like it's like a project basically. And that's where we were living at the time. We were renting, we were saving, in a different home now. But we only moved here 6 years ago when I was pregnant with number 8. So where did we put all of that stuff? And it started to bring up a lot of emotions for me, kind of like gratitude on one hand, a little bit of resentment and fear on the other, and just kind of confusion. So I'm going to share with you what I wish I knew about clothes donation. So real quick, if you're catching this on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and subscribe, like and comment. Let me know, what you think of do you get a bunch of clothes donations and what I share with you today. So that's awesome. Feel free to connect with me there. Otherwise, hello, good morning. Let's get into it. So first of all, there's kind of 2 problems. And a lady in my big family moms group was sharing with me. She was like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. She's got a bunch of kids, bunch of clothes. Christmas is coming and she's just feeling the squeeze. So she asked if I could address this. I was like, I'm going to do it today. So this one's for you, babe. First of all, I see it like 2 things. First of all, you can say no. I didn't know that in the early years because I think I had FOMO, which I had to look up because I'm not, the cool millennials who know all the acronyms. FOMO is FOMO, fear of missing out. When people would drop off stuff like on my porch or just, bring it kind of unannounced is what I'm talking about. You just have it. You're like, oh, great. They don't even leave you a note. Maybe they message you later and like, oh, I just left you a bunch of stuff. I was cleaning up the kids' clothes and they dumped it on you. Can't really say no then, right? You've got it. But here's the thing. I actually can say no. I don't even have to open the bag. I didn't know that. And part of it was, curiosity and fear of missing out. Like, what if I just don't even open the bag and I just turn around and put it in the pile that I have in my garage to just go away, put it with my donation pile, which every, couple of weeks or months or whatever, me or my husband will take it and drop it off at Value Village. This is what we have in our community. You can just literally drop off all of your stuff. Goodbye. I opened it every time and I was afraid that I was going to miss something because I was in earlier years of parenting and I thought, oh no, if I don't take this pile of clothes and go through the bag, which takes like half an hour to sort through it for maybe like 2 things I'm going to keep realistically, I kind of thought, my sons won't be clothed. My children won't be clothed. We won't have enough. I have to open this bag. I must go through it. It took me a few years to realize, actually, no, I don't. And that it wasn't dishonoring God or dishonoring the other person if I actually just said pass. I could just not open it. Listen, if I already have enough clothes for my kids or more than enough clothes, we actually need to cut it down. I don't have to open the bag. And I didn't know that. And now that I do know that, it's just freed me up so much from the fear that was underlying the compulsion to open the bag and go through it. I've since learned that if the idea of even going through the bag stresses me out, don't open the bag. Just say no. It's okay. And if I'm scared that my children won't be properly clothed, we won't have enough, then I can explore that little root of fear, speaking as a Christian, thinking of Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And if these clothes came and it's just not the right time, I don't have anywhere to put it. My kids don't actually need any more clothes right now. In fact, I'm on the other end. I should be cutting down my clothes and donating it to someone else. You could say no. So real simple. That's one of the big things I wish I knew in the early years. It took me a while to get there. And there's grace for myself, right? Because it's a process of learning. I was a new mom. I wasn't prepared for motherhood. We were never planning on having a big family. So when I began to experience this unique big family struggle, which is way too much clothes, I'm glad I can pass this tip on to you and give you just a release if it helps you today when you're catching this, whether you're here live with me right now, or if you're catching this in the future, you can say, pass, and then trust God will provide for you and your children all the things that you need, like He promises. Jesus says, don't worry about tomorrow, right? Just like He clothes the flowers of the field, literally clothes them, right? And He provides all things in perfect time. And just because someone donated it doesn't mean it's the right time. So there's that. Now, here's the second part. If you have already received too many donations and you just sort of kept it, piled it, and now it's taking up too much space in your house, like my dear woman in my Big Family Moms group who's sharing it with me, then I've got some tips for you. Actually did a declutter for Christmas challenge last week. So if you missed that, it's in the guide section of the Big Family Moms group. I did it in a 5-part series, and day 4 is called Purge. How to purge, how to just take the time and clear it out in a simple, strategic way. I have a super simple system of how I just cut it all down. It works really well with clothes, especially because most big family moms experience the too much stuff in the clothes area because we got all those kids, all those clothes, all those seasons, and you're probably storing things as hand-me-downs as I do. So I have a storage system. I didn't really get into my storage system of what I do choose to keep because, like I said, 7 sons, like I have a hand-me-down system. We actually run through hand-me-downs because that happens in a big family. And I have 3 daughters, but there's a big age gap between my firstborn daughter, 6 boys in a row, and then she was 12 when we had her 2 little sisters. So I had to decide what to do with the clothes in the in-between. But that's another talk for another day. I just wanted to give you a really quick thing about what you can do right now if you're getting too much stuff and let you know that guide number it's at the bottom guide. I can't remember the guide, but it's in the guide section. It's day 4 of the Declutter for Christmas challenge, how to purge. That'll help you right now what to do with the clothes that you have, whether it's Christmas or not, whenever you're catching this today or in the future. That's there to help you. So real quick before I go, because we're in the middle of our Monday, it's homeschool, where the laundry's going. It's a Monday. I just want to let you know, if you're not in the Big Family Moms group, you can go ahead and jump in because that's where it's all saved. It's not anywhere else in the world. It's exclusive content, free content for the Big Family Moms group. So that's where you can get some help for purging right now. But if you're like, that's great, Tara, but I have a bigger problem in purging. Like, that's just an issue within an issue of home organization. Many moms let me know that they are struggling with just the house is a mess. They're stressing out. They don't have a routine that supports even being able to take care of the mess that they have. I've got something for you. I'm going to link it in the video. I don't know if I linked it in advance, so I'll check after. I got a 2-for-1 bundle that's on sale pretty much for like this week only. It's going to be gone Black Friday. Woohoo. So it is a 2-for-1 bundle of my 2 signature courses, and they're mini, so they don't take too long, of how to organize your big family home and how to organize your big family life. Because once you've got a routine and a rhythm going, it gets so much easier than to deal with the mess, which reduces your stress. And I've walked that road. Organization is a gift that God has blessed me with. So I put that together to help you right where you're at, not just with purging the massive clothes donation overload, but the whole thing, one piece at a time. Because if you try to, bite that in one big bite, you're going to choke. But if you learn from someone who's gone before you as a big family mom, as I have, you absolutely can do this. This is my #1 most requested course. So feel free to grab that. And if you want, you can go right now, taraleehills.com. It's under courses, and I'll link it in the video as soon as I finish the live stream. So let's see some ladies in the chat. Hey, Chelsea. You're saying if you take donations, you go through the bags cleaners right away. Boom. That's one way to do it. And the next day you give it all away. Good stuff. Small living, eh? Yeah, I totally get it because we were 900 square feet for, oh my gosh, a long time. Yeah, hand-me-downs aren't really possible anymore. And look at that. God has provided, Chelsea says, every time one child starts to grow. That's the heart of it, eh? Like, it really does come down to some trust. And sometimes that definitely for me was behind the fear of not even opening the bag. I just was like, no, but I guess I never really asked, will the Lord provide again? If I almost ungratefully throw it away, pass it on to someone else. That was definitely for me. So if that's resonating with anyone catching this, you're scared, like, if I don't take it, if I don't at least hang on to it, terrible things will happen. That may not be a thought coming from God. That just might be your own stuff. And I get it because I did it too. Chelsea, thanks for meeting with me today live on the chat. It's great to see you there. I'm going to pop out because somebody's getting a little noisy in the living room. And I'm going to get back to my homeschool big family mom life. God bless you all. I'll see you in the group, and I'll link that course if that's something you want to check out to help you get everything organized in a low stress way so the clothes aren't overwhelming you. Life is overwhelming you when the kids outnumber the adults.